let's segue to my pick now. Make it simple. I'm going. Well, first off, I'm not sure. Let's look. My tentative pick is over Rams.
It was on the yellow notepad.
And I have good news.
Yes?
Eyeballing it, the bias that they had, for whatever reason, the Falcons does not exist with the Rams. It looks to be a pretty unbiased number. And when I say that, if it goes 2 games over or under.
The minus 110 is the same. It looks like it maybe could be off in different places because it looked like they got it inverted when they had the minus 130 on the under.
Possibly so, but right now,
for now,
you're getting plus 300 if it's off by 2 games on the over, and you're actually getting a little. If you would have gone under, you get a little less than that. 2 games in the other direction where it's only 280. So the over is certainly not getting shortchanged. If anything, you're getting a nice value.
Okay. And the reason I think that maybe the under should be more crunched in is there's not as much range down below, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know what this is analogous to? In college football, when a win total, let's say they play 12 games, Boise State used to, I think, and then the over-under would be 11.5, right? Well, it was like sometimes that, if I could go to 10.5, you almost had a sure winner, right? So how much was that half?
Georgia's 11.5 right now.
Yeah, Georgia's 11.4 right now.
Okay, that's a good example. So how much, if you assume you went to 12, what would you have to, you'd have to buy that for a monster amount of money.
A zillion, because
Well, because the theory is they're going to win.
They can't go over 12.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 11.5. So if you would buy to 11,
yes,
that would be a very expensive half game.
That'd probably be like 130 cents.
That's what I'm saying. So
maybe more.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
So in a way, the Rams being so depressed, it means that they would crunch up the distribution curve.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're saying is my over Rams looks like a good bet.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, and we should all talk strategy in this, yes?
I'm so confused about your opinions of the Rams.
Why?
I mean, a couple weeks ago, you were shitting on Scott and I for having them in the pool where they might make the playoffs versus not be a bottom 3 team.
Well, let's think about this. What do you think? How many wins do you think a bottom 3 team is going to have? Let's
4.
look at the.
Four, maybe 5.
The 2 worst records in the NFL last year were 3. The Bears won 3, and Lovie Smith won 3.
All right, so let's say 4 then.
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm laying 2.5 more games than being likely in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Now 2.5 on top is 9 wins, right? 9 and 8 would be 2.5 on top. You're certainly more likely to be in the bottom 3 with 4 wins than you are to make the playoffs with 9 wins. 9 and 8 likely not going to make the playoffs. So statistically, based on this number, you have a much better or a significantly better chance to be in the top 3 picks, one of the 3 worst records, than being in the playoffs. Well, since you had a choice to go either direction, you picked the less likely thing.
But AJ could argue that his payouts, given the playoffs, there's more points to be had. Even though it's unlikely.
That would totally go against them spending like half their picks on going with the worst team. So maybe, but I mean, does anyone believe, like, what are the odds that they're actually going to be anything but the last wild card team?
Well, that's interesting. So if I told you, no bet if they don't make the playoffs, where would you set their over-under on playoff seed? Of the 1 to 7.
It's only if they make the playoffs. Well, since there seems to be disparate like motivations even for those wild card spots, I almost think any of the wild card spot, I would skew a little to the 7th seed, I guess. But I think 7, 6, and 5 is almost the same.
5.75 is what came to my mind.
Yeah.
Would you like that? It's like 6. I'm going to go. I would go ahead and bet under 6, but I would bet over 5.5.
So you're saying there's like there's a better chance of 7. I mean, the way to think of it is 7 or 5 the better chance. You're saying 7 is the better chance, but not by double, let's say.
I guess I was thinking 1 through 5 is more likely than 7.
Okay. Yeah, I
gave
agree
me
with
all
that.
5 of those numbers.
What were you going to say?
4 teams made the playoffs last year with 9 wins. One made the playoffs with 8 wins. So
where was this at?
In the NFL last year.
No, but in the there wasn't 4 teams that were 9 and 8 or worse.
Seahawks
they didn't win their division.
Seahawks 9 and 8.
Okay.
Tampa 8 and 9.
Well, they won their division.
Okay.
So that's different.
Giants 9, 7 and 1.
Oh,
that's
all right.
Jacksonville 9 and 8 did win their division.
Yeah, but
Miami
okay.
9 and 8.
And Miami 9 and 8.
Wow. All right, then maybe my boy with 9 wins wouldn't guarantee you.
How many
atypical.
9-win teams didn't make the playoffs?
Steelers and Lions.
So you got 9 losers also.
But in a typical year, 9-win teams even.
I would say that a 9-win team is favored to miss the playoffs.
And I would say that was the case even when there was only 17 or 16 games.
But I wonder with 7 playoff spots now.
Yeah, it's going to get one more. Okay, so I guess in theory, well, I guess here's the question too: is it normally distributed? Meaning, I think the Rams, there's a real chance of tanking at some point.
I agree with you.
Right? So,
But I also believe that if Matt Stafford plays a full healthy season, who knows?
but if that's a good point too. Yeah, maybe it's not as bad as I thought thinking about it. Because I didn't. But again, last year was such an aberration with 9. But again, the NFC is going to be bad. So
Yep.
maybe. So you guys should feel even better about that. What do you think, Fez?
I think this is great that you're bringing up like the variance associated with, and maybe a team like the Rams it's dangerous that they could really have a bad year. They could.
But there's not much. I mean, here's the thing that makes me think they won't. Is because McVay didn't have to come back.
That's a good point.
I mean, he came back for a reason. And it's not they're going to win a lot this year. I think it's just he's not going to tank.
And they're probably going to start 2-2. You know, it's like they're going to get worse as the year goes on, but they're probably going to bank enough wins that it's a complete disaster is so unlikely.
I can't see them winning 5 games only. Yeah. I mean, this feels like anywhere from 7, 8, or 9.
I think it's possible. I think the question is, does McVay, if you say F them picks, do you tank? That it's almost like or publicly that's going to be hard for them to tank, or it's going to make it seem like they were full of shit before. I don't know.
Also, and you're right, going back to 2021, the first 17-game season, 2-4 teams that had 9 wins going to the playoffs versus not.
But how many with the division wins?
2 wild cards.
Okay, that's even more than I would have thought. Just check the year before. I'm just interested.
There was only 16 games in.
I want to see even that.
Okay.
Because in theory, 9 wins was more meaningful back then.
Yes.
There were Bears made it 8-8.
So it's that 7th playoff.
And that's it.
Yeah, so that's interesting. With 16, you have 1, and you have 4 with 17 most recent, counting again the division winners. All right. Yeah. I'm just trying to go against Fez's belief that you can't go over, because to me that is so reductive. All right, Fez, you take it from here. What do we got? I'm taking a rest.
So you're going full circle.
Oh, back to the pick.
You're on the Rams.
The Rams. I think it's McVay's telling
Over.
it. Like, can you imagine him turning down $15 million or whatever he would have got, probably 15 or something, to announce Thursday night? You think he's turned that down to not have a plan to get this thing back?
Wouldn't make sense.
John Madden quit after like 9 years. No one ever said, "Oh, you didn't coach enough." You get that Super Bowl, it's your
all you need is a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you got the ticket to get out.
Look at Gruden.
I know.
Maybe the wife was just okay with him staying.
But that would presuppose he wanted to stay, right? Yeah. The wife maybe could say, no, don't. But I think he wants to stay because I've changed my opinion of him. I thought he was all glam. You know, I thought he kind of lifted. Why wouldn't you lift, right? The Shanahans, did great job innovating this offense with the one dude. Who's the dude they always say the other one, Shanahan?
Alex Gibbs came up with
Gary Kubiak
blocking scheme.
Yeah, I'm talking about Kubiak. Yeah, maybe, right? But no one knows that.
Yeah, Kubiak was the right-hand man forever in Denver.
But they call it, apparently Kubiak, look at him, see, you can tell this is a conversation in the family reunions, is Kubiak gets name checked because he did an offshoot of it that a lot of people picked up, right? I mean, not that he was the right-hand man. He was an innovator as part of it. But let's give the Shanahans credit. Well, obviously, it felt like to me McVay came along with the smile and the olive oil voice and the guinea charm. Oh, wait, that's the Godfather. But the reality is, that was Johnny Fontaine. Yeah. The reality is, the more I see, the more I think McVay's a good coach, like better than I thought. And I also think, why is he staying now? I thought he was running away because, like, to me, what Brady did is it's BS to compare Brady to Belichick. Belichick stayed in the same place, picked up the embers from what they burnt down to win 1 or 2 more titles. And then Brady says, all right, which team is really good that doesn't have a quarterback?
Right.
I'm going to go there. And Belichick says, well, this is an off year because we had so many salary cap. But it's like, hey, Brady was smart, but let's be honest. It's easy to pick the best team without a quarterback. Now, to win it is a next level thing. But if they would have gotten beat by Green Bay or the Saints that first year, which they easily could have when the tight end fumbled, I think the whole Brady story would be very different.
Yeah.
Now, the 6 other ones wouldn't be. All right. I just like Belichick. That's all. But it's a true point, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Belichick had went to the Chargers the next year,
It's a good example.
right?
Yeah.
That would have been the same thing. They might have won one. Well, I don't know, with Herbs.
Yeah, I think Belichick could probably get enough out of him.
Hey, did he hear about what we were talking about, Herbs?
Oh, no.
Okay. You might want to listen back to one of your Wally Pipp shows.
Right.
Quarterback drafts in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's true. That's true. He's going to have to trade up for the first pick. So my thinking is that we're getting a cue from McVay. It also, Fez, brings up the point that there's only so far to go down. I mean, do we really think they're going to have 4.5, win 4 games?
That D might be really bad.
Why would it be bad?
They lost 8 starters
8 starters from when?
from last year.
Last year wasn't any good.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing to lose starters from a bad defense.
I don't know.
Well, let's think. Do they have the best defender in all of the NFL?
Yes, if he's motivated.
Well, listen. Let's be candid. This is a guy that played a lot of games under a lot of coaches, and when they weren't Super Bowl contenders, how'd he do?
He was the best player in the league, on defense.
So do you disagree? So your inclination, forget the whole tenth of a win. Do you think the Rams, other than that, the handicap of it, what do you like?
I'm indifferent.
All right.
I haven't done all my work yet. It's
All right,
too
that's
early.
fine, that's
It's just too early.
But there's the idea that McVay is giving
that
us a
resonates.
message.
That resonates completely, and it's just a question of how down is the defense. I sure would like to analyze who the hell is going to be starting for them.